Hi guys, it's Angela. I am doing my update for 18 months post-gastric bypass. It's actually not exactly 18 months yet, but it's yeah, close, 17 months. And I probably won't have time to do an 18-month one. So I'm still in the middle of nursing school and I have a lot going on, and so I'm just doing this because I have time today. And plus because I have had another big, thing to celebrate. I am wearing a size 6 jeans. Ha ha ha! Yeah, that's me like saying, how in the heck did that happen? Yeah, there's a lot of things to just kind of talk about. And excuse my son. He is deciding that he just wants to scream and yell today. So I apologize ahead of time, but I'm just going to let him do it. So anyway, so today, actually a couple days ago, I was putting on a pair of my 8 jeans and just decided these are getting really loose. And so I decided to pick up a pair of size 6s today. And yeah, they fit. So kind of bizarre. I don't know exactly what my weight is right now. It sits somewhere between 163 and 168 at any given point in time. If I'm retaining water, it can be a little bit heavier than that. I really don't worry about what the scale says anymore, which is kind of another bizarre thing, because really the number on the scale isn't indicative of actually my true body weight, because I have a heck of a lot of loose skin. So I had previous videos where I was like a size 10, 12, and I'm like, oh, it's not so bad, I have a little, and yeah, now it's just all over the place. For those of you that knew me when I was heavy or see my old videos, I had arms the size of most people's thighs. So what happens when you lose, a person? Yeah, you kind of are left with a little bit of extra skin, and particularly in my arm areas. So it's really embarrassing. So those of you that see me at school or out and about, I do wear like little extra cover-ups a lot, just because I don't like people seeing my little, arm flap things. And I don't know what's going to happen with that. I mean, the doctor told me that I should expect that, and that I need to wait to be at my goal weight for at least a year and a half before I consider any type of surgical intervention. And I may actually do that later on, not only because of, because there's extra skin, but it is kind of annoying and itchy, and yeah, it's kind of weird. I never anticipated what that would be like. But in the grand scheme of things, let's just face reality here. Rather have that than an extra person. That's just reality. I've lost over 45 pounds, give or take a pound here or there. I really don't care anymore exactly what that total is. That's not the reason why I did this. It's more about how I feel, and how I feel is amazing. The thing that I'm dealing with nowadays, and I've been talking about this previously in other videos, but the farther I get away from Big Angela, the reality sets in that I haven't gotten rid of Big Angela. It's very psychologically a dilemma for me. And I know I'm just kind of talking in circles here, but having lived life, all of my life, as someone who's been heavy all my life, there's never been a time in my life where I have been normal, quote unquote, versus fat. I was always. And I mean, there were like variations of that over the course of time, but there was never a time in my life where I didn't have this persistent thought in my head of your fat. You have to watch what you eat every single day, every single moment. I over obsessed over. I just overly thought about everything concerning my body and my weight. And I'm sure I'd come up with the word sometime after I finish this. Anyway, the point is, I realize, and I think probably all people who are lifelong, have a lifelong issue with obesity probably would experience this. I can only speak for myself, however, that this is really a weird thing, because I look in the mirror and I really don't see any difference. And I mean, yes, I can see the difference in my face. Yeah, I mean, I do look in the mirror like in my car, and I look up and I'm like, oh, that's me without any fat. But in everyday situations, I still feel like I'm Angela wearing a 24W and walking around. I walk into walls all the time. This is just, I don't know why this is. I do. I walk into walls all the time. Like, I just don't have a good sense of what my body, like, proportions are. I just can't understand it. I can't make sense of it. I run into walls, I run into doors, it's just, I end up with bruises all over my body because I'm like, what am I running these things for all the time? But the other thing is that, I mean, I really want to kind of get a handle on the fact that I've lost all the weight and now I'm in maintenance mode. And the weird part is that I'm in maintenance mode, and maintenance mode is really easy right now. So I'm eating more junk than I should, and that's psychologically freaking me out. And I'm like looking into like Overeaters Anonymous, and I'm so not overeating. Things like that. I mean, I really am in this mode where I think I'm going to, one, gain all the weight back, and two, just overly sensitive to the fact that I am not eating like a rabbit anymore, and really don't have to right now. Now, I don't ever want to get to the point where I'm not paying attention to what I'm eating, but right now it's pretty easy. I mean, I can eat pretty normally. Now, my portions obviously are really small, but I mean, I'm eating 4 or 5 times a day, very, very small portions. But if I want to have, you know, a handful of, you know, M&Ms, I do, and I don't have an issue with it. Now, there are a few things that I've run into that I can't eat at all. Biscuits, not going over. Not even a part of a biscuit. Not so good. I can eat eggs now. Like before, right after gastric bypass, I could not eat eggs at all for about 10 months. Now I can eat eggs pretty good, and so I bought some little quiche dishes so I can make little quiches, because that's one of the things I really actually looked forward to after gastric bypass. Like, I could make these like mini quiches and take them, and I couldn't eat them. So now I'm going to do that. But so I'm dealing with a lot of psychological repercussions of having gone from, you know, Angela pre gastric bypass to Angela now. And I wish I could explain it better. There's no way to really explain it. I actually read a study, it's for one of my classes, about how people deal with gastric bypass psychologically afterwards. And it's pretty universal, I guess, where people just have a hard time adjusting. And it's really difficult to put into words how different it is to be at a quote-unquote normal size after living life for 40 years overweight. And yeah, we hear you, Daniel. So it's, for me, I don't know, I'm still trying, quiet please, trying to deal with all of that. I wish I could put it better. Anyway, the latest things as far as what I'm eating, pretty much the same things. Obviously able to eat a little bit more here and there. Still trying to eat fairly good though. I mean, fairly balanced. I've been drinking a lot of diet sodas lately, and I'm more thinking that's the thought that I'm sleep deprived versus anything else. But I'm trying to get over that as well. Not being very successful at this point, but I'm figuring that between now and graduation, I will address that. But other than that, things are going really, really well. Not going to be wearing a swimming suit anytime soon until I deal with the extra skin issues. But if we end up going on a cruise sometime after graduation, obviously I'm going to wear a swimming suit. I'm just going to wear a cover-up. Nothing different from what my life was before. But I do feel more comfortable in my skin day to day. And feel like I can just go into different places and people aren't like watching me and looking at me and making judgments about me, which is something that I experienced a lot before. And I don't know, feeling really good about life and where things are right now. So anyway, I will do an update later. Feel like I've kind of been all over the place talking about psychological issues. And yes, this is my psych rotation in nursing school, so I'm finding myself psychoanalyzing myself a lot. So that's the latest right now, and hope everybody's doing well, and everybody have a great 4th of July, and talk to you guys later. Bye.